You know how much food I eat through the phone? I'm a professional
Oh,
at this.
I bet. I bet.
Me have this. You try it?
Welcome to the Incoherent Fangirl. This is Chloe with a special guest introduction. Thank you for listening.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chloe Gong
Oh my
said our
god.
name.
She did. I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
I know. And Karen's going to spill all the tea on that later. You have to stay and wait to
Stay
hear about it.
tuned. I will be talking about it. Am I introducing myself first? Or you?
I guess it doesn't matter.
I'm Karin from Wakanda.
I am Mandy of Ravka.
And uh Chloe Gong knows who we are, guys.
Welcome to the Incoherent Fangirl, where we have absolutely no chill because Chloe
No
Gong
chill.
knows who we are.
Not only I have so much to say, but I will save it. I do want to make a quick correction because I said something dumb last week.
Uh-oh.
So I said that Chloe was born in New Zealand. She was born in Shanghai and moved to New Zealand and grew up there.
Grew up in New
She
Zealand.
grew up in New
Gotcha.
Zealand. So she was born in Shanghai. I was like thinking about it. I was like, that is not, I did not say that correctly, did I?
Uh-oh.
So, quick correction. Chloe was born in Shanghai, not New Zealand, but she did grow up in New Zealand. Hence
Very
her
cool.
very cute accent.
I know. She's precious. She's so tiny.
She's amazing. She's amazing. I
Yeah.
have so many things to say. But
I
first,
know.
in our timeline, it is October 6th, but in your timeline, it is October 14th. Mid-October.
Halfway through the month already, and I
Holy
am
cow.
at Universal Studios. As you listen to this, I am drinking some pumpkin juice or a frozen butterbeer, and I'm riding Hagrid's ride. So
I'm very jealous.
yeah,
Have fun for me.
I will. I will. It's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be very fun. All right.
Yeah.
This week in fangirling?
Let's not keep the people waiting. Let's not do it.
Well, I don't know about you, but I had a pretty exciting week. So on Tuesday, October 4th, I took the day off of work and I went to meet Chloe Gong. And she is seriously like kindness and joy and just, she's awesome. She's
Aww.
the sweetest. So the event started at 6, and it was her and Evelyn Skye, who is the author of The Crown's Game and The Crown's Fate, which are 2 books that I read last week. She has other books too, but those are the ones that I've read. Apparently she's a local author, which is very cool. And so they were in conversation. They talked. The talk was about an hour and a half. Evelyn and Chloe talked. She asked her questions. It was fun little interaction. They opened the floor to questions from the audience, which was fun. And then around 7:30, it was packed. We stood up and got in line for the book signing portion of it, and it was a full house. And Chloe signed every single book that every single person brought, and she took the time to talk to every single person as she was signing their books.
Aww.
And she took pictures and selfies, and she was just so sweet, so kind, so patient. Like, she did not seem like she was in a rush at all. She seemed like she loved to be there and she was excited to be there. Like, sometimes you just you can
You feel like you're a
tell.
number.
Yeah, you can tell when they're just not all there, like they're thinking about what
Not
they're going to
into
do
it.
afterwards. But she was present the whole time. I was the very last person in line by design because I
Yeah.
had a bag of 10 books.
I was
And
gonna ask, did you have the most books?
I think so.
Yeah.
I saw people with copies of the duology and Foul Lady Fortune. I saw people who had like one of the books in the duology and Foul Lady Fortune, because we all got a copy of Foul Lady Fortune for the event. I saw some people had 2 copies of Foul Lady Fortune, but I did not see anybody have a big gigantic bag. But I purposefully waited. I was the last person. There was actually a girl and her dad behind me, and like we were halfway through the line. I'm like, when we get to the front, feel free to like move ahead of me. Like I have a huge bag here. Like it's already late. I don't want to keep you any later because I am ridiculous. So I was the very last person, and as I was coming up, I like held up my bag and I'm like, how tired is your hand? And she's like, not at all. Let's go. And I was like, oh, you were so sweet. So they gave us a sticky note to write our name on if we wanted it personalized. So I gave her my book that had the sticky note. She opened it, looked at my name, looked at me, and she said, do you run an Instagram or something? And I was like, what? And she was like, I recognize your name. I was like, oh my God. Like I literally almost fell over. I was like, Chloe, what? And she just was laughing. She's like, no, really? I was like, I don't know how to process this right now. I don't know how to process this. Chloe Gong recognized my name from the internet. What?
Oh, I love her.
It was so cool. And I think... So I pulled out my copy of Foul Lady Fortune, had her sign it. I pulled out the Barnes & Noble exclusive because I stopped at Barnes & Noble on the way to the event because I knew they'd have a copy in store, even though I wasn't getting my pre-order, and I was not going to miss out on that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, look, I have the golden one too. And she was so excited because she gets excited about her books. It's very cute.
Yeah.
And then I pulled out a second copy of the regular edition. I was like, can you sign this one to my bestie? Because she's not here. And she was like, you're so sweet. I was like, well, I pre-ordered a copy and then I got a copy from here. So I asked her and she wanted one. And so here we go. And at one point, I think I gave her a bookmark and I was like, oh, her name's here. She's on the back of the bookmark so that she could get your name.
Oh.
And she was like, that's so cute. You're so sweet. I was like, oh my God. And then I pulled out my copies of the duology, and then I pulled out the box set of the duology, and I'm like, I'm sorry, this is gonna sound crazy, this is gonna look crazy, I have two for you. She's like, I see nothing crazy about that. I'm like, yeah, okay, great, cool. At one point she was like, oh, I said something like, I was texting my best friend, I was like, I'm so nervous, I'm shaking. She's like, don't be shaking, like I'm just a regular weirdo. I'm like, no, Chloe, you're like a cool weirdo. Oh my gosh, she was so nice. She was so sweet. She signed every single book that I brought. And she asked me the same question that I asked you. I'm like, should she sign on the title page of the anthologies, or should she sign on her stories? Yeah. And I was like, I think on the cover. I think that's what we're going to do. And she's like, okay. It'll be like a cute little collection when you get everybody. I was like, yeah. I think that's the plan. Yeah. It was very sweet. She wrote little notes in each book, but they were just like lines. Like I think in These Violent Delights, she wrote, the stars incline us, they do not bind us. No. And then I think in another one she wrote the same line, but in I want to say Latin, maybe. Hey, it was in a different language. Cool. I know I could tell it was the same line, but it was in a different language, and I was like, that's cool. In Foul Lady Fortune, she wrote, Welcome to the Covert Branch, which is very cool if you've read the book. Yeah. And she was just so sweet. She was so nice. I was like, she signed everything, and then we were just talking, and I was packing things away. I'm like, can we take a selfie? And so we took selfies, and I was like, can I have you record something for like our podcast? And she was like, absolutely, of course. I was like, okay, well, you have all our information. So if you like want to reach out or anything, be on the podcast. She's like, well, my publicist handles that. I'm like, I know. Just, you can pass the info along now that you have it. And she's like, yeah, of course. I was like, oh. She's so cute. So sweet. So by the time I left, it was 9:00. And she was still there signing stock copies in the shop. Bless her. She's the sweetest person. The sweetest. I know. I hated to go to sleep that night, but like, yeah, I was dead. I had been at my office, so I was no way. So I text you and I was like, listen,
I can't wait to read. Blow my phone up. It'll be on sleep mode. And when I wake up, I will read it all. I'm so excited, but I am going to faint. I'm going to fall over. I'm so
I
tired.
was like, there's no way. You had to go into the office for the first time
Yeah.
in like years.
I got up 2 hours more earlier than I had have been
Normally
in
do.
years.
Oh my
So
God.
my body was like, girl, you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
But I was so excited to read them the next morning.
Literally, I was like texting you. I was like, she's asleep, but she's gonna read these in the morning. I almost wasn't gonna send you the video clip and just have us record normal and then
You couldn't
plug
have
it
sat
in.
on that all week.
I couldn't. I would have died. I was gonna wait until you listened to the episode. I wasn't even gonna tell you tonight.
You couldn't have done that.
I was like, there's no way. I can't. I can't.
That's too big.
I had to tell somebody, and you're the only one I can tell.
Yeah. Oh my God.
If I could have pulled that off, that would have been amazing. But there was no way. There was no way I was going to keep that a secret.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a happy camper. Like, she's just as sweet in person as I expected her to be. And she's so down to earth. She's just like a regular person, but like way cooler.
She looks like a little doll baby.
She really does. She's
just a little angel.
She's so sweet. Like, and to be that, like, she's so young too. Like, to be that, just, she hasn't let the world get to her
down,
which is great. And I hope she keeps that, because we need more of her energy in the world. I love her.
We do.
So
do what you just did again. Do what you just did again.
I did a heart.
Listen, I love this. All right. The kids of the world now do this.
I tried.
I can't like, we had a whole discussion about it where they do the middle fingers and the pointer fingers.
I tried. Chloe did it. And I was like, I tried. I can't. My fingers don't bend.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work. I
We're
can't.
millennials.
That's pretty good though.
Well, yeah, because they like they were like holding my hands and like,
oh my God,
straightening
no,
it out.
I could not.
Like, they said that this doesn't look like a heart. I'm like, yes, it does.
Okay,
if
we're talking about an anatomical heart, neither of them do, okay? Thank you very much. But yeah, it was funny because like the tour stop before this one that she came to, she was posting on her Instagram like all throughout her tour, and she posted or maybe reposted something to her stories where she was like really excited that she did the finger heart like that.
Aww.
Like the little kids do, the younger generation.
Yeah, the babies.
Yeah, she was like so excited, and I was like, I tried, I can't. My fingers don't bend that way.
My hands don't like it.
I know. But anyways, that was how I met Chloe Gong, and she knew who I was.
Oh my God, that's so surreal.
I literally, she like paused and as she read my name, and I thought she'd like make a comment about how it's spelled different or something differently, you know?
Yeah.
But she says, do you run an Instagram account? And I was like, ma'am, what are you asking me right now? I was like,
what?
I was like, yes, and a podcast? She's like, I recognize your name.
And then I died.
I think I just died. I think I said that. I was like, I think I just died. Chloe, I think I just died.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Oh my gosh. So
I don't blame you at all.
That was my Tuesday. The complete opposite of yours.
I know. Mine was back in the office.
Rude. The universe needed to like cancel balance it, yeah, because I was gonna be way too hyped for Tuesday.
Yeah, and like I walked around like an angry zombie all day. Hissing at people, like,
I guess I'm sorry. If this was the universe balancing it out, then it's kind of my fault that you had to go back to the office.
Damn it, Karin and Chloe.
Sorry, love you.
I love you too, but grr.
All right. Well, the rest of my week is pretty low key. I finished. I don't know if I started All of Our Demise last week, but I finished it. Oh my God.
I know. That
I have
ending.
so many things to say, but I don't want to spoil
I
anybody.
know. The
Ugh.
end, that ending broke
Mm.
something in me.
I loved it. I loved
Yeah,
it.
so
Yeah.
good.
And then
Amanda
Mhm.
Foodie didn't like ask me anything today while
Mhm.
she was traveling, and I'm not trying to hijack, but it's just relevant because you're
Yeah.
talking about it right now. I asked if they could give any info on the A Fate So Cold, which is the next book that she and
Christine Lynn
CL
Herman.
Herman, or well, it's not Christine anymore.
Oh.
I think they changed their name to Charlie. I believe
Oh,
it's
okay.
Charlie.
Okay.
So they're still going to publish, I think, as CL Herman.
Okay.
But that Amanda responded and said, A Fate So Cold is about two rival chosen ones who fall in love despite being destined to kill each other. It's a YA crossover fantasy romance with lots of angst, set in a world where magicians bond to powerful semi-sentient wands for life. There's a lot of old Hollywood There's a lot of old Hollywood glam a la Evelyn Hugo. It's a dual POV between the two chosen ones, Dominic Barrow and Ellery Caldwell.
Ooh.
So and I think that comes out next year, so we don't have too long.
Exciting.
I don't
That
have too
actually
long to wait.
reminded me of a talking point in Chloe's book signing event. I think Evelyn had asked Chloe if she could tell us anything about Immortal Longings, which is her adult debut that's coming out next summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so she kind of gave us like a brief synopsis, like spoiler free, obviously, about
Yeah.
it. It's an Antony and Cleopatra retelling, and it's about I think I forget the main character's name. The Cleopatra character is a princess, and she's trying to dethrone her uncle who is on the throne. He's only ever seen when he comes to like greet the victor of some tournament, so she enters the tournament so that she can win and unalive him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Antony character is also in the tournament, but he's like the most likely rival for her, and so they decide they were going to team up in the beginning and take everybody else out, and then but obviously stuff and only one of them can survive. And I'm sitting here listening to her talk about this, and I'm like, she's talking about this sitting next to Evelyn Skye, whose debut novel, The Crown's Game, is basically that story. It's very similar. It's not the same, but, and I mean, again, it's a story that has kind of been retold and retold. Like, people
Yeah.
going into a tournament, only one of them can come out. They
Yeah.
have relationships, things like that.
Falling in love with one of your
Exactly.
rivals.
So I'm just sitting there, and she's talking about it, and I'm like, oh, that's funny, because I just read Evelyn's book, which is very like,
I know. What did Evelyn look like?
I couldn't see her face, but she sounded really excited about it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, it's and I mean that's all of us villains. It's Light Lark.
Right.
It's Hunger Games. It's
Right.
not like it's a new concept. I just thought it was really
And
funny.
this isn't, I don't mean this in a mean or a negative way, but Chloe's game is retellings. If you think about it, Shakespeare started it, and she,
Well,
and not saying she's copying anybody. That's not it. But
no. She made a joke that her books are basically just Shakespeare fan fiction, and I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Apparently, she started writing when she was 13, like full stories. But it was just like she wrote and then got it out. It was like if you wrote your first draft and then you never did anything with that kind of thing. And so she was doing that when she was like 13, and then she got to These Violent Delights, and that was the first one where she sat down and was like, I want to edit this, I want to make it better, kind of thing. But apparently some of these stories can be found on the internet somewhere. And Evelyn's like on Wattpad or something. She's like, it's under a pen name, but yes. And now I'm like, I don't know what Wattpad
recognizes your Instagram. It's like it's like AO3.
I don't know what that is.
You've never heard of Wattpad?
No, I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
It's basically Reddit for like authors, where you can go and just like, I don't read Wattpad because for me, fanfics aren't for me. And I prefer canon because I'm a Ravenclaw, and like I don't want to get confused what's true and what's not. But yeah, authors can go on there, and like a lot of them will do like a chapter a week or something. The twins love Wattpad. There's I think please don't quote me on this, but I think Allie Hazelwood got her start writing like Wattpad and AO3 stories, and like publishers
that doesn't
noticed how good she was.
surprise me
Our
because
friend as well
yes.
was found through Wattpad.
Yes, that I knew. I'm pretty sure Allie was too. I feel like our friend was talking about that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm just like, now I'm just like, and she's like, it's under a pen name, and I'm surprised that people haven't figured it out yet. And I'm like, listen, Chloe, if anybody's gonna figure this out,
it's Willie Pearshake. Or something. Listen, she recognizes your name she recognizes your Instagram handle. Okay. So what you do is you just DM her and be like,
no, she
Chloe.
recognized my name.
Exactly. She knows who you are on Instagram. So you message her. You're like, hey, we're besties now. Remember, you recorded stuff for my podcast. You know who I am. Bestie, I would never sell you out. I would never tell anybody. Have her tell you what that pen name is. You tell me and no one else. We go read all the stuff.
And live in Chloe Gong.
What else? What is wrong? What is wrong? There's nothing wrong with this plan.
It's an excellent plan.
I mean,
it's a great plan.
What I'm here for. That's why I get paid the big bucks. I don't get paid any bucks. We don't get paid any bucks yet. Yet. Now that Chloe Gong is a bestie of the pod, all bets are off.
Liu,
hey,
we got two New York Times best-selling authors.
Just wait until I go to Y'all Fest. I'm gonna be taking our bookmarks and just like making it rain on authors, except Adam Silvera. Because one of the twins has it out for him. I don't know. She's like, I'm ready to box him for what he did to my feelings. This is not a threat. We love Adam Silvera.
Has she gotten the second book yet?
Not yet. She watched Shadow and Bone.
Okay.
Fell in love with Kaz Brecker. She's been trying to get through Six of Crows, but she is 13 and gets easily distracted by TikTok.
Fair.
So we're trying to finish.
And easily distracted by TikTok.
So she's trying to get through Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom before we buy any other books that may be tempting.
Okay.
Basically, she doesn't want to be tempted away from it, but eventually, yes, we will both have copies before Y'all Fest.
Oh, I was like, did you pre-order it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she'll have her own copy.
Got it. I get it now. I got so confused for a second. I was like, wait, I remember there was a pre-order thing with this.
I don't share my
That's fair
copies of books that are going to be, that I'm going to get signed, but it may be signed. I can't remember what I got.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I'll find out.
Off track, still on track, kind of. It's
Incoherent.
As if I needed to be more in my feels. I finally read I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy.
Oh God.
Oh my God. That poor girl.
I know.
Good for her for like overcoming all of that, because that's a hard place to get out of.
It's a conversation that we've had. I make it sound joking, but like I've talked to my husband about like, do not romanticize me when I'm gone. I can be an asshole.
Right.
I'm sarcastic. I have a smart mouth. There are people that I don't like and there are people that don't like me. Don't let people come in and say she was an angel and she never did it, because that's a lie. Don't lie on me when I'm dead.
No. I got you.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
I got
you.
I got you. Mandy could be a bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
She was my bitch. And I loved her.
I loved her for it.
She would not have been her if she was not mean sometimes. Exactly. Okay.
I mean, nobody on this earth is beloved by everyone.
No.
Unless you're like Gerard Way.
There's no. Even then, I'm sure.
Yeah, even people like
there is not one cup of tea that is universal for everybody. Yeah. There's just not.
There are people that hate Meghan Markle. I mean, they're wrong, but
exactly.
I mean,
so yeah, but I got to the end of the book and it made me happy to know that her and Miranda Cosgrove still have a relationship.
Yes,
like
I know close friends,
right? And I know that she was saying how and I've seen articles about it, or where she's been quoted saying that they aren't as close as they used to be. Like they've drifted, they've just grown and drifted. But when they do. Yeah, but when they do talk, when they do come together, it's like no time has passed. You know? And that's the kind of friendship
you need.
Yeah. Like you need to be able to kind of disappear for 3 years and then come back and
have them
hey.
not hate you.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's not, then I love the little story about how Miranda gave her a gift, like when she first got like started.
Yeah.
It's like that is so sweet.
I
And
liked the one where she talks about spoiler alert,
yeah, I guess.
spoiler alert, where they go out to eat and Miranda notices that she's not eating like she's supposed to and like
Yeah.
says she's gonna go to the bathroom and she like directly said like she pays attention and notices those subtleties instead of just pretending it's not happening.
Right.
As my friend, don't baby me.
Right. But she
As my friend,
also
care about me.
she took notice of it, but she also let Jeanette, like, she knew that she needed to do that in that moment. Like, she was still in her recovery, and so
Right.
she's not like,
Judgy.
oh,
She wasn't
yeah,
judgy.
she's not judgy. She was like supportive in as much as a
But
way
I
as she
need
could
you to
be.
know, I need you to heal. I need you
Right.
to, you know,
And
I want you to
know
be
that
healthy.
I am here.
Yeah.
Then, and I'm
And
not
I
judging
see you. Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I really love that, and I really love seeing that of Miranda, because I love Miranda Cosgrove. I have loved her for so many years. So I am very happy to know that she is just as wonderful in real life.
Yeah.
But and the story about her and her first kiss with Nathan.
I know.
It was like and the way that it's heartbreaking, and also he was so supportive. Like, he knew that, you know, like they were there, but like, it was rough. It made me sad. But I'm glad to know that at least, like, she had
like
some
laughing
people
at her, making fun of her. Yeah.
She had people who were in her corner. They just didn't know the full extent of how much support she needed.
What that meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. What that needed to be.
It was definitely, and it's definitely eye-opening. I mean, I know this, but it's also like a good reminder that, like, you never know what's going on with somebody.
Nope.
Because you watch iCarly and you see Sam and you see, you know, like, she's Sam Puckett.
Funny. And she's always stuffing her face and, you know, she's always eating.
So I think it's a good reminder that there's always something going on that you just don't know.
Yeah.
And just to be there for the people that you care about. And so I'm glad she was able to, like, write this and kind of get through a really tough childhood.
And how she says in the end, I'm not going back to that grave. There's nothing for me there. That person was abusive.
Yeah.
Even though you don't, like, it wasn't mom bludgeoning her or, you know, or anything like that, but
and
the other abuses still count. And she stood up for herself.
Right. She acknowledged that she could love her mom, but she was not good for her. You know, like,
she wasn't a good mother. She wasn't a good person.
You know, and she was.
And you don't have to go back to a gravesite, and you don't have to pretend because she's dead that she was the good mother, because she wasn't.
Right.
And the dad too. Like, I want to fist fight him too.
It's you know, the world kind of failed her, unfortunately, and how unbelievable it is that she was able to get through that, and good for her. And you know, I'm
Jeanette
glad...
McCurdy stands over here.
yes, huge Jeanette McCurdy stands. Love her. I will always be in her corner. She deserves the world after everything that she went through. Like, poor thing. So yeah, that was it was a tough listen.
Yep.
But it was,
especially when she starts crying reading it. Oh
yeah,
my feelings.
It's definitely.
I was over here sobbing with her.
I was at work, so I was like, "Oh God, I need to go to the bathroom." So yeah, so I read that, and then because apparently I was in a memoir kind of mood, I started Making a Scene by Constance Wu.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't realize when, I forget when it was, but when Fresh Off the Boat was renewed, I think maybe for like the last season, apparently Constance had tweeted that she was upset about this because, and this is what nobody like had the context of at the time, but because she had to commit to Fresh Off the Boat, she couldn't take other opportunities that she was given at the time. And so that's why she wasn't, you know, she was not upset about the show. It was just
upset about missed opportunities.
Yeah. And so she got a lot of hate on the internet and all of that. She disappeared from basically the world for a while. And now she's back, and she wrote a book, and it's really interesting. She's been through a lot of shit too, and it really makes you realize, like, oh, Hollywood is gross,
Brutal.
There is, I guess, spoiler alert, but there is, so the way that she talks about it in like stories, so it jumps around from time to time, so it's not chronological. But she tells a story about this guy, and I can't remember his name. But like they went out on a date or whatnot, and she goes back to his apartment and all of this, and he goes to try and have sex with her, and she tells him no, and he just kind of looks at her like, that's not what you mean. He has sex with her anyways. And it's not until years later that she realizes, like, that was rape. Like, she didn't, because I guess, you know, we're so subconsciously like attuned to the idea that it's violent, it's like forceful kind of thing. And so it wasn't until like a decade later that she like randomly thought about it and was like, oh, that was rape. And so it's like, it makes you think.
Sickening.
It's the worst. And she has a lot of stories about just shitty like situations, not exactly like that, but shitty situations that are similar. And
that she's been in.
Good Lord. And I love this woman. I love her. And I'm glad she's back. And I'm glad she's coming back, and she's taking like control of the narrative, and is, you know, standing up for herself more.
Speaking her truth.
Yes. And there's a lot where she's talking about how she kind of just goes along with things, and now she's like, no,
I'm not doing that anymore.
And the title of the book, she's like, it's making a scene, and she's like, as women, we're told, you know, calm down, don't make a scene, kind of
be
thing.
Quiet.
No, I'm gonna make a scene. And
that stupid girl on TikTok who says men don't like loud women.
I don't care.
That makes me want to be louder.
I know. Like, I don't care.
Get a little loud.
Thanks. So I'm not finished with that. I was having some issues with Scribed, and then I got home, and then I had a child bothering me. So I think I have like an hour and a half left.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really in a memoir kind of mood, I guess.
Get in those.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens. So that was my week. It wasn't a lot, but it took up a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay, want to tell me about your week?
Yes. So I called in. I was a few minutes late. So my grandmother and my grandfather, he's my step grandfather, but like whatever.
Yeah, right.
Needed, my mom's like kind of redecorating their house because they don't really have a lot of stuff. So she needed help doing some bedding. She couldn't like lift up the bed to put a bed skirt on. And the only night she could do it was Monday night. I thought the call started at 8. It started at 7. I got home at like 7:20.
Oops.
Which was fine. Family first.
Yeah.
But I called in, and it was like a fun chat. We talked a lot. They talked a lot about the Ballad of Never After and Jax and how she came up with the characters. Apparently she was trying to give another, like a friend of hers who was writing a book, a story idea, like this friend is trying to come up with ideas, and she was like, oh, what about this character who, you know, is like the Prince of Hearts and blah blah blah. And that's like where Caraval came from, and it just blew up from there. And it's like, oh my god, I'm glad her friend didn't take the idea. So yeah, I mean, it was a fun call. I should have taken notes, but I was just kind of flustered at that point. It had been a lot. And oh my god, so my mother has all of this stuff in her trunk, right? So and in her back seat. So she's like, help me empty out the trunk, the back seat. I empty out the trunk. Is this everything you need? Yes. I lean down and slam the trunk. And as I stand back up, 6 inches from my face, tree frog.
Oh no.
My greatest fear. So I'm already like, already emotionally spent because and it's moving too. Oh my god. And so I get home, and I'm just like telling Josh and the twins about how there's this awful frog incident, and I'm running late for my call, and I'm like scarfing down dinner because I haven't eaten yet while I'm trying to get it logged in, and I did not take any notes. And
girl, the fact that you remember anything from that night is a miracle in and of itself.
It was so close to me.
Oh my god, you poor thing.
Yeah. It was rough. I went like running across their yard screaming. My mom was like, oh my god. She's like, come here, Froggy. And she's like tapping him with her foot to get him to move. I'm like, ugh.
God.
And on top of that emotionally draining incident, I was also like sitting there seething about how I had to go back to the office for a day. So I was like, as soon as this is over, I have to go to bed. And anyways, it was a fun and interesting chat. They're both so pretty.
They are.
And
they're both so pretty. Did Stephanie say anything about the next book? Because I know she announced a third book.
I can't remember. I know she's working on things. I know, and I can't remember what now the name of the Shelby Marin's new book is going to be.
Scarlet Veil.
The Scarlet Veil. Yeah, it's going to follow.
Are we surprised
Sally.
that I remember the name?
No. It's going to follow Sally to like the vampire court. So that's going to be fun. It was interesting because without giving away too much, you do encounter some vampires in the Ballad of Never After. So that was an interesting like tie. It seems like a lot of people are pulling in some vampires lately. I've read a lot of books where I did not expect there to be vampires, and yet there they were.
Okay.
I can't remember what she said she was working on. Right. Not the sparkly kind. Somebody asked, like, would you ever do a cookbook? Because no, I'm sorry, I'm getting things backed up. That was Carrie Maniscalco. She has I've been to too many Zoom call book things lately. With Carrie, she has the sisters from Kingdom of the Wicked. Before like the plot of the story kicks off, their life is that they live in this town that's basically Sicily, and they run a restaurant with their family called the Serpent and Vine. I think it's what it's called. Sea and Vine. And they talk about like recipes that they and she'll be like, even in later books, the main character will be like having a conversation with someone while she's standing in the kitchen, and the way that she writes it gives you a recipe. Without like, I squeezed a lemon and poured half of it in, and I zested and I mashed the cannelloni beans and made up, kind of a paste, and we dipped toast in it. And like, there's somebody on TikTok now doing like a recipe series through her book.
I love that.
Yeah. So somebody asked if Carrie might do a cookbook, and she was like, I don't know, maybe that's an idea. So we may get some fandom cookbooks.
That would be so cool.
Yeah,
that would be very cool.
I need to like go back and see if I can rewatch and see if Shelby talked about Stephanie talked about the next book. I know Shelby did. My brain is fried. My brain is toast. So I did that. I did not tell you this, but I started listening to Daughter of the Moon Goddess.
It's narrated by Natalie, right? Natalie Naudis. I'm pretty sure. You don't have to check. I'm pretty sure. And
whoever's on Scribed.
I love her.
I don't know if I'm going to be right in this or not, but I have some major opinions on what I think is this love triangle. I hate the prince. I hate him. I hate him so much. I want her to be with the captain.
I have so many things I
want to give this stupid prince a wedgie, like a supersonic wedgie, until he bleeds from his mouth.
So many things to say, and I can't because I've read both books.
I'm about halfway through. Spoilers. She's in, so listen, I've been reading 2 books that have demons in the demon realm.
Yeah.
I think that's what they called it, is the demon realm, or like she's somewhere where they kidnapped the betrothed princess, and
I think so. There is a demon realm.
Yeah,
there is a demon realm.
She and Li Wei, is that his name? I'm listening to the audio and it's been a few hours. She and Li Wei rush in to save her, even though she doesn't really necessarily want girl to be saved because she's in love with him.
Yeah.
And she's admitted, I'm fully in love with him. That was like the last thing I read, was she's like professing that she is definitely still in love with him, which
I have so many things to say. I can't wait,
and that's
until
where
you
I am.
finish the book, and I can't wait until you read the second book.
He's in like manacles. He's in like manacles right now, and she's trying to figure out how to get him out.
I'm okay. I have.
Anyways,
so I can't wait until next month when the second book is out and you've read it, because then I have so many things to say.
I've been
So many
wanting to
things
like
to say.
rage text you, but I was like, no, I want to tell her on the podcast that I'm reading it.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. I also, you will be amazed at this. Okay. I went to bed last night and I was like, I'm going to like, I put my phone away, everything. I'm going to just read for a little bit on my Kindle. 1:00 in the morning. I finished this.
Last
It was on my
night?
Kindle, but then this, yes.
Oh, girl.
I was like, I'm going to bed. I
Oh,
told everybody
girl.
good night. I told myself I was going to bed, and then I like look over at my Kindle and I'm like, all right. And then it just
one
kept
more chapter.
yeah. And then this came in. Yeah, Kingdom of the Feared. There are things I can't say. It would have been a 5-star book, but at the very end, this is a minor spoiler, but just to tell you something that it's not a pregnancy trope, but there's a trope that I despise that happens, and it just like so it lost a star just on that alone. And so it was like, all right, well, it's still a good book. Still glad I read it, but pissed me off at the same time. I forgot to show this off last week with Where My Money Went, but today I read The Demon in the Wood, which is a Grishaverse prequel about the Darkling.
That's pretty.
It's very pretty. So yeah, I read that today, and it's just kind of it's kind of an origin story about the Darkling before he becomes the Darkling, and kind of explains how he is the way he is, because I have a hard time classifying the Darkling as a hero or a villain.
Okay.
Because in his eyes, without giving too much away about the series, because there's a lot of books I know, in his eyes, he is protecting the Grisha and creating a world where they are safe. But in a lot of others' eyes, he is kind of a Voldemort type, where you only care about the Grisha and you don't care who you kill. And he's kind of ruthless with some of them. So you see these great acts of evil, and you also see these great acts of sacrifice for good. So it's hard. It's hard. I love the Darkling. I love him. I did from the second that I think he steps out of a carriage the first time you see him, and it's like they call him the Darkling, and I'm like, oh,
I'm in.
Well, I'm sold. I think we have in one of our like big Facebook groups, we have like an offshoot that's like a bookish group, and I think I have a post in there where I was like, they call him the Darkling, and I'm in love. Like, it doesn't matter what he does.
I feel like I've seen you post that somewhere. It might be on your personal page.
Maybe.
It might be, because I'm not in that group, so I think it might be on your personal page.
I know our friend Molly was like, I was waiting for this. I knew you, like, the second you met him, you were gonna be like, yes.
You're so predictable.
I am. If he's like tall, dark, and villainous, sign me up. Sign me up. I forgot to mention this earlier this week when we recorded, because I had read it like the night before, but Amber D. Lewis released her Patreon exclusive short story for I guess it was September technically.
Okay.
I loved it. I can't tell you what it was, but oh my god, it was so good. I feel like
after I finished beta reading book 3, she sent me a couple short stories, and I was like, you chose these specifically to attack me. You chose these specifically for me.
This one, I feel like she wrote for me. I loved it. I appreciated it very much. So yeah, I got to read that, and that was my week. So not a whole lot.
Yeah, I technically didn't have a whole lot either. I just talked about one a whole lot. So.
And then today, so when I was at work on Tuesday, one of my coworkers who I've worked with for like 15 years now, it seems like, was like, I haven't seen him in a few years other than like randomly in passing if we both had to be on site. So he was talking to me and he was like, how is your book coming? I saw, on Facebook that you're writing a book. And I was like, yeah, I haven't really touched it. And he's like, how many like words do you have? And I said, I think I'm close to 70,000. And he was like, that is more words than I think I've written in my life. and you've written like that in just a book. Like, that's insane. And so then this morning I was talking to my husband and I was like, hey, guess how many books I've read this year? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, 76. And he was like, I need you to work on your own book. And like, he gave me this huge motivational speech about my own book. So I pulled my book back out, and it's been like a month or so ago. I had opened it up and written a few scenes and then forgot exactly what I wrote and what I had just like been stewing. I went back and read one scene in particular, and I was just like cheesing, like shading grin, like this man that I wrote has me like messed up. It's like the grin when Jude finds the Jude paper in Cruel Prince. Or like when Aaron gives the speech in Shatter Me, I'm just like, oh my God. And so it has definitely encouraged me to get right back into finishing this, because I need you to squee with me about this man. Because
I know, I'm waiting for you to send
God.
me your first draft.
I know. So I think I'm going to try to finish it in the next couple of weeks, and then I'm going to like print it somewhere at Staples where I can like write changes, make them, and then I will be ready to share it. I still have to figure out a name though.
It's okay.
Our friend is gonna edit it, so I need to get her prepared to send, like, to be ready for it. But yeah, I'm so excited.
There's nothing better than a fictional man written by a woman.
I got butterflies. I gave myself butterflies because I forgot that I had already written this scene. And so I was like, man, this is going to be kind of tough to write because there's a lot of emotions going on. And then I was like, I wrote this. It's like a fever dream. So yeah, that's coming soon.
Yay.
Do you have fictional boyfriend this
Alistair
week?
Lowe.
Obviously
it's
freaking
Alistair Lowe.
love him.
Oh my God,
tragic. He's so tragic and tortured, and it's just like, I want to heal you.
I just want to hold you and fix you.
I know. Baby,
honey, come here, I'll take care of you.
Also, our Alistair Lowe is an adult, by the way. When we picture Alistair Lowe, he's an adult. We're not creeps. I just picture somebody my age, even though I know they're children in the book. Every time
I read, I just assume everybody's my age.
Yeah.
And even when I know they're not. Like I said last week, so many times, I'm like, I had to remind myself that these are children. I have to remind myself these are children, which makes it like
my mouth. Sorry. Yeah, these are children. Stop picturing them like.
But I can't. I just that's what I've always done though. Like even when I like meet people online, like I just assume they're the same age as I am until they tell me otherwise. Like
yep.
Like Heather is older than us, but I like was like she's our age.
Yeah.
When she told me, I was like, liar.
You lie.
So yes,
you lie.
Mandy is correct. Our Alistair Lowe in our head is in his 30s, not a child.
And so dark and tortured and just
oh my God. Sweet baby. Anyways, I don't have to ask you yours.
My darkling. But also, I think his name is Wenshu in Goddess Captain.
I don't remember.
I think it's Wenshu.
It's been a while.
I could be wrong, but yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Him too.
It's just been a while.
If he like becomes like somebody who betrays everyone, I think I might love him more. I don't know. We'll see.
There are so many things I want to say
just,
to
like,
you.
Screaming
You're
at her.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
Just like screaming at her.
You're murdering me.
I did have one, like, I felt like she was like instantly in love with Leeway.
I think what it is that
she just says weeks pass and you don't feel
exactly that. That's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. Like,
so you don't get the passage.
A lot of time passes in like just a few chapters.
Yeah.
Like years pass.
Yeah.
You know,
so you don't get to feel it and fall for him. It's just like,
right.
We studied together every day for
Yeah.
3 years and, you know, made jokes and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
So
and
it's like harder because it's just like
yeah,
they had all of this development, but you don't see it.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
that's one of the only things is like when I was reading it too, I was like it's a lot of time has passed
Yeah.
and like it's like a blink and you miss it and you're like, "Oh, right, she's been there
Yeah.
for a long
Yeah.
time."
And I'm like, this is insta love. You don't even know him.
Yeah. But it's not.
Not, but
yeah. Yeah.
and then the captain says something like, please don't, like she's about to go and like try to save the princess and like go off with Lewin, and he's like, please don't, like don't do this. And I'm just like, oh, don't
Girl,
go with him.
Buckle up. Just buckle up. Especially book 2. Good Lord. I couldn't. This is worse than when I read Foul Lady Fortune in May and had nobody to talk to about, because now I know you're reading it.
Yeah. I know. I was like, I couldn't. I was physically reading Kingdom of the Feared, but I was like, I need something to listen to in this godforsaken office. Especially, so I opened Scribed and I'm like looking through it and I was like, oh,
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me, where did your money go?
Not very many places because I'm saving for Universal, but I didn't show you Demon in the Wood last week, so I got Demon in the Wood. It really is pretty, and the naked cover is pretty too.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, it's this really pretty blue color, and then like the Danny Pendergast is like the artist, and she did a really good job.
I love.
Yeah, so that's really pretty. And then my signed edition of Kingdom of the Feared came in.
Yay!
And I just always have to pause and like admire the map in this book. It is like this series so insanely beautiful. Like I want this as like a tapestry.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love that.
The naked cover isn't the greatest, but the map makes up for it. And then I got like stickers.
Oh, fun.
One is the Vengeance dagger, and then Simpertus. I don't really remember what that means. I mean, it's like Forever Yours or something.
Very cute.
And it's signed. It's got a book plate, which I don't love because they advertise it as signed, not signed book plate, but it is what it is.
Right.
And I think that's it.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't spent a lot of money in the last 3 days.
Right. Like originally I was like, I don't have anything, and then stuff happened.
Yeah.
Well, I came home from the event on Tuesday, and my copy of Foul Lady Fortune from the Barnes & Noble event that I went to last week came in. So it's the exclusive edition, and it's signed by Chloe. And it also came with this really cool little coin thing.
That is really cool.
It's like, it's really heavy. It's like really heavy for this little tiny thing.
Yeah.
So it's like solid. It's very cool. I had no idea it was coming, but it is so cool. I'm obsessed with it.
You need to get a little sleeve for it.
I know. I just have it sitting on my Chloe shelf.
Ooh, listen, as someone who has made an entire gallery wall, like her whole personality, go to Goodwill, get a little tiny frame and paint it like gold glittery, and then put that coin inside the frame and put it up on your Chloe shrine.
I just need to move some stuff to make space for it.
It would be so pretty though.
It would be. It's so pretty. It's a very nice surprise. So on one side it's got the skull, it says Foul Lady Fortune, Chloe Gong, and then on the other side it's got like flowers, and it says may fortune never find you. Because Rosalind's code name is Fortune, and she's an assassin.
Yeah.
So you don't want her to find you.
Don't want Fortune. Yeah.
So it's I love it. So that I got a package. Apparently I got another package yesterday, but nobody put it where I could see it, and so I didn't see it till this morning. But it was a package from Angie.
She's so sweet.
And she sent me Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick.
Oh.
She saw that I had like marked it as want to read on Goodreads, and she's like, "Do you want my copy?" And I was like, "What?"
She's so cute.
So she sent me this. She sent my daughter like a cute little sticker and fabric bookmark with it.
Aww.
She sent me a bookmark and a keychain from the Strand, which is a gigantic bookstore in New York that we didn't get to go to. But it says 18 miles of books. 18 miles of books.
That's pornographic.
I know. So, next time I'm in New York, I'm doing nothing but going to the
Put
Strand.
on my walking shoes.
Yeah, to go into a bookstore. She sent me a little postcard. Well, which way's up? This way's up. And it's apparently it's an orchestra conductor who was born in China. It says, in a faraway country where pianos were forbidden, Xian learned to play anyway on a piano her father built from broken parts. She went on to be a masterful maestra who now soars over world-class orchestras. And she wrote me a little note on the back. It's gorgeous. I'm definitely framing that. And then she sent me a little Hamilton art print.
Oh.
Because, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a cute little package.
Precious. We love her.
So sweet. We love her so much. And then I got a little package from Fairy Loot. I ordered these with my Inheritance game pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
I got the
cool
tarot cards from Daughter of the Moon Goddess, because this
All
was...
right, show me the names. Are the names on it? Where's the
No,
captain? Show me that captain.
It doesn't have the name. So I think these two are from Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and these two are from The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. Maybe. I don't know. They don't have names. They just have the card names.
Who looks
them.
princely and who looks like a warrior?
This one says the Emperor, so probably leeway. The High Priestess, the Magician, and the Fool.
Ooh.
But they're very pretty.
Interesting. Yeah.
But they were on Fairy Loot's website, and I had wanted to get them, but I didn't want to like pay for shipping on just cards.
Right.
So I had intended to order them with my Foul Lady Fortune pre-order, was in a panic, forgot.
Yeah.
Meant to get them with Heart of the Sun Warrior pre-order, was in a panic, forgot. So then, Inheritance game comes along, and I was like, okay, I gotta remember this time. Less panic, ordered the cards, they're here. So, yay.
You did it!
I did it! And last but not least, I have a story about this.
Uh-oh.
So first of all, it is a ginormous box. It's huge.
It's like a computer.
It
looks like a tower.
It does. Oh, okay. I was like, it does? Yes, the olden days of computers.
Yes.
So this is a package that I got from 835, which is a small business, who is a Loungefly retailer. I ordered this in August of 2021. It was a pre-order. What happened was that Loungefly finished making it. The company asked them to do a quality check.
Oh, I remember this.
Loungefly checked it and they're like, they all suck. And so they had to remake all of them. And so they did. And it took over a year.
Holy spirit.
Over a year. But it's here. They did say that they were going to include other things in the box to make up for the wait. And they did. They did include other things, so that's cool.
Were they worth the wait?
Yes, I love them.
Okay.
So it starts with a little card. It says, 835 are incredibly grateful for your patience and we hope you love your bag. And it's on a little card that says Oz, which should give you an idea about the theme of this box.
Yeah.
Which you probably already know because I've talked to you about it before.
Yeah.
So this was one of the things that was originally supposed to be included. It is oh god, it fell. Please hold while I fix this.
Oh my god.
It's my fault. It is a replica
of my god,
the Cowardly Lion's Courage
That's
medal.
So cool.
Isn't it cool? I was not expecting it to be so gigantic.
Yeah.
It's like almost the size of my face.
That's epic.
It's very cool. So that's very exciting. I love that. Definitely worth it. They sent me a lollipop.
Okay.
Which is
green
and yellow.
Guilt? Yeah.
Green and yellow. It's rhubarb and custard flavored, according to the back.
Yikes.
I don't know if
I hate you. Rhubarb?
And then a shit ton of keychains. Are these keychains? They look like keychains. So this one is, I think it says a diploma, so it's probably for
Scarecrow.
I was like, which one doesn't have a brain? My brain
Yeah.
is not working. My brain stopped working.
Karin.
This one is the Courage Medal.
Cute.
We've got the little hourglass with
Okay.
actual sand.
I'm gonna need an oil can or a heart for my man, Tin Man. Okay,
Heart.
good. I was the Tin Man in my like 3rd grade talent show.
The ruby slippers.
Where's
and
Toto?
Glinda's wand. You're not gonna be happy.
Oh,
You're not.
they
gonna be happy.
disrespected Toto.
I'm sorry.
Yikes.
Sorry. There's a journal. The back says there's no place like home. And then the backpacks. It's flying monkeys.
Cute.
It's very cute. It's embossed, which is very cool.
Interesting.
That one comes with a matching wallet. And then this is the one that I was most excited about that I waited over a year for.
Oh,
It's got the little poppy fields and 5
beautiful.
Toto's right there somewhere in the basket probably because we can't actually see him, which is really rude. You got little Jimmies. It's so pretty.
That is really pretty.
I waited over a year for this.
So they gave you another bag?
No,
too?
I ordered 2 bags.
Oh, okay,
So
okay. I was like,
what
dang.
what I ordered was the 2 bags, the wallet, and the replica. Everything else was extra. Which,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah. So it is and it came in this really nice box, and there's like dust bags for the backpacks. Like, they're very fancy with their exclusives because it was exclusive to their shop. But it did take quite some time.
Yeah, way long.
Way long. Yeah. So, yeah. But I have them now, and eventually they will go on my Wizard of Oz shelf, which is currently overrun by Hawkeye, but we don't talk about that. Listen, Clint just needed a place to stay for a bit, okay?
Yeah. He can be friends with everybody.
Yeah, absolutely he can. Absolutely he can. So that is, I don't want to say where my money went this week, but that's what I received this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where my money went at some point.
At some point, I spent money on these. At some point in my life. Was it this week? No, definitely not. Yeah, that's all. That's
I
all.
like it.
That's all. Okay.
All right. What are you anticipating?
I am anticipating watching the next episode of She-Hulk that came out
I know,
today.
I'm so behind.
That I have not watched it. But also, tomorrow, according to Marvel.com, is when Werewolf by Night is coming out, which I did not realize.
Huh, interesting.
Hold on. I was on Marvel.com for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. I think I was updating my spreadsheet. And so I went in and I clicked on movie. Oh, you know what it was? It was because I saw the release date for Deadpool 3. And so I added that to my spreadsheet, but then I wanted to go to Marvel to make sure that they didn't change any dates or add anything new.
Do anything weird.
Yeah, so I clicked through and I saw Werewolf by Night that I hadn't added to my spreadsheet previously, and I looked at it, I was like, that's the day after She-Hulk. That's exciting.
Weird. Yeah.
I'm very intrigued, so we'll see. And then on Sunday the 9th, there is I don't know if it's a talk or if it's just a book signing, but the author's name is Amanda Glaze. Apparently, she is a local. She was a high school student who worked at this indie bookstore when she was a student.
Aww.
And so now has her debut book.
Going back to share her book.
Yeah. So it's at my favorite local indie. The book is called The Second Death of Edie and Violet Bond.
Okay.
I read the synopsis, but I could not tell you what it is right now because I read it like 2 days ago.
I know,
but it sounded good. It sounded good. There is a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition that supposedly has like really pretty end pages, so I might stop by Barnes & Noble's and see what that looks like. I haven't 100% decided if I'm going, but it's on Sunday, which normally would deter me. However, Monday is a county holiday.
It's a holiday.
So I don't have to work. work. I'm so excited for a holiday. I didn't realize it was a holiday or I didn't remember that the holiday was so soon until my coworker at work yesterday was like, have a nice long weekend. And I was like, what?
Have a what now?
What now? I like this.
Yeah, I will.
Excellent.
Thanks.
I will now. Thank you very
I will
much.
have a great weekend.
Thank you very much. I'm
having a great weekend now.
So I'm looking forward to that long weekend. I will be reading 2 arcs this weekend. I have to because they come out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So one of them, I think it's The Picture Bride and Mistakes Were Made. Which doesn't that book just sound like me?
Yeah. Sounds like a good book.
Sounds amazing. So Mistakes Were Made, not to be confused with Kristen Dwyer's Some Mistakes Were Made. They're 2 different books. But it's about this girl who's in college who like hooks up with this woman at a bar. It's like parents' weekend, only to find out the next day that it's like her best friend or her roommate's mom.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh.
What?
Oh. And so now they're like now at like breakfast or brunch or whatever together, and they have to be like, nice to meet you. And so I'm intrigued.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's like one of those romance novels that you read about, like guy and girl hook up at a bar, find out they actually know somebody and have somebody in common. But it's sapphic, so I'm like really excited.
Yeah. And a mom. Not like a mom, but like a friend's mom.
Right.
Like moms are fine, but like what?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I will be reading that this weekend. I'm very excited that there's a long weekend because I feel less stressed about it.
Yeah.
And then She-Hulk finale is next week.
I know. I promised to have watched the 2 that I'm behind by then too.
Well,
and we should be able to talk about it because we're not recording
till Monday.
So I might could talk Josh into watching it either at the hotel one evening or on the once we get back or something.
We could hopefully talk about all of last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to hold it in, Mandy.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah, good.
That is what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm anticipating. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I wrote down anyways. There is I sent you a text. I don't remember what date it is. It's a Tuesday, I think. There's a event with Tracy Dion.
Oh yeah, I need to sign up for that. I think when you sent it, I was taking a nap
No, it's a local one.
Oh.
For me.
You sent me one and
Did I send you a different one?
You sent me one and said live if you're interested, but I was taking a nap and I thought it was like happening now.
I sent you a screening for a movie.
Let me find it.
Because
now I'm so confused.
Why can't I scroll? My phone has decided to stop working.
Jupiter Music.
I literally cannot scroll.
Oh yeah, it is a screening.
It's because I sent them back to back.
And so my brain went, this is a book, like a live book chat that's happening now. And like I roll after, like, because I set an alarm, I turned all the notifications off on my phone, and I laid down to take a nap. And when I woke up, I was like, oh, I missed that, and just kept.
No, yeah. So I sent you a link to a movie screening that was doing signups. So I don't know if it's still active. I
see.
But then there is Tracy Dion is coming, and I think that's how you say her last name. Is coming to that same indie bookstore, Linden Tree, that Amanda Glaze is coming to, and so I'm like considering it, but also it's like,
let me see,
it's the middle of the week.
Yeah. So that's crazy because she must be coming straight from YALLFest to there, because that's like 2 days after YALLFest. YALLFest is November 11th and 12th, and that's the 15th.
That's right. That's crazy.
So she must be
she's
jumping around. Yeah,
she must be. Well, when does Bloodmark come out?
I think it's
because then she might just be on that. YALLFest might just be part of her tour.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Let's see. I think it's middle of November, maybe.
It is
November 8th. So it will have just come out. Yes, so it's probably
so that's probably part of her
Yeah.
book tour, Y'all Fest. Also, speaking of Y'all Fest, that's the same weekend as Wakanda, or Black Panther Wakanda Forever when
Yeah, I
it
know.
comes out. I was like, I don't know what happened in my brain, but I went and bought tickets for the movie yesterday because they went on sale, and I need to buy tickets ahead of
Yeah.
time, or else somebody will get my damn cubby. And I was like, oh, November 12th, because that's the Saturday, and
Yeah.
because I was like, I know it comes out on the 11th, which means the 12th is a Saturday. So I was like, November 12th, give me the first showing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I got home and I was like, that's Y'all Fest weekend. FML. But then I also was also like, wait, the 11th's a holiday. So theoretically, I don't have to go on Saturday
Yeah.
because my brain,
That's
that's
true.
what my brain does.
Yeah.
Ugh. But I also want to go to
So-
Y'all Fest.
I know. We'll have to figure it out because we'll either do all the author stuff during the day and see it in Charleston, or
Mhm.
I feel like movies start playing here on Thursdays.
Yeah, we have a screen. It starts on
So
Thursday for us too.
we'd probably
Like,
go
there's tickets
Thursday,
at 10.
Thursday afternoon, and then drive to Charleston that night, or drive to Charleston. I don't really know. I haven't gotten that far in the planning. I just know that we're going to Y'all Fest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I forgot because I was so overwhelmed when I was talking to Chloe. I meant to tell her. I was like, "Well, my bestie just met your bestie Alex recently."
I know. I
and
did.
showed her her thigh dagger tattoo, and I wanted to be like, "Well, I'm gonna get one too, but it's gonna be Juliet's dagger," and I completely
Yeah.
spaced
out.
It's okay.
You can tell her next time. It's fine. You can
Next
tell her
time.
when she's on the podcast.
Yes. When we're like Facebook chatting or Instagram chatting.
Yep.
We're in each other's DMs.
100%.
We're gonna be besties for life.
Besties.
So, anyways, what are you looking forward to? What are you anticipating?
I'm looking forward to only having to work 2 days next week, even though one of them is an on-site day. So we have the holiday, and then I'm taking off Thursday and Friday to go to Universal
Yay.
for our friend Kyle's 40th. I was about to say 30th. 40th birthday. Happy birthday, Kyle. And then we're gonna, I don't know. I'm just so excited. We're just gonna like live it up. One of the twins is still thinking. The other one didn't get the choice on going to Halloween Horror Nights. It was like, you don't even get to think about whether you're not going. We've tried that. It was not a good thing. You and I will go back to the hotel and read. Or
I was like, after the haunted corn maze thing.
Yeah. No, she's not getting a say. She's not going. So yeah, they're talking about doing that. And then a couple of weeks. This Sunday, is my little tea party that my grandmother is throwing. My little Halloween tea. I can't wait. My baby niece has been all about, like, she's getting to that age where like she's very interested in tea parties and fancy.
Yay.
So she's gonna love that. And then after Universal, you've got the Alice Paradox coming very quickly. I can't wait.
Yay.
Blood Marked shortly after that. Halloween, of course, October 27th.
October 27th.
Listeners, we love you. We love each
love
other. We need a break from schedule of recording every week. It's a lot.
We love you. We love you so much, but
yes.
Mama needs a break.
Yes, and a nice long Thursday nap. And then Y'all Fest. I'm really excited about Y'all Fest. And then the twins will go back with their dad. And then very beginning of December, we're going to the It's a Wonderful Life Festival in New York. I can't wait. It was my Christmas present last year. Josh, have I told you about this card that he gave me last year?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So my big gift last year, like, he handed me a card, and in it, like, he wrote all this stuff, and he was like, your big gift is a choose your own adventure. And he was like, you have 4 options. Or maybe 3 options. It's a Wonderful Life Festival, the Christmas Story House in Ohio, or I think it's Bookish in Baltimore. But Bookish in Baltimore was already sold out.
Okay.
But they were doing like bookstore crawls and like a ballroom masquerade thing where you wear your ball gowns. But they were already sold out. We couldn't go to that. So, and I think there was a fourth. I still have the card because I keep every card. And so I was like, I gotta go to This Wonderful Life. It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Yeah, all your
We're gonna
dogs.
do that. All my dogs are named after It's a Wonderful Life. I watch it every year, like constantly. I cry every time. So yeah, we're going. It's Seneca Falls, New York, but they dress it up to be Bedford Falls. A lot of the actors, like kids and grandkids, come. I think last year, like, you want to talk about starstruck? The woman who plays like the little girl Zuzu was there last year. Oh my god! Like Jimmy Stewart touched you, he touched your arm. What's it feel like?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I'm starting to look forward to things like that.
That's exciting.
So, yeah, I think that's it. It's gonna be a busy holiday season. I did realize this past week that the way that holidays fall, just also for your reference, the way that holidays fall this year, if you take off 4 calendar days between Christmas and New Year's, you will be away from work for 10 total days.
Hold on. That can't
Yes. You have to take off a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think our holidays might be different. I think
they're not. So listen, you'll leave work on the 23rd, right? You have the 26th off since Christmas is a Sunday.
Yes.
It's observed on that Monday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Same for New Year's Day. It's on a Sunday, so you're observed on the 2nd.
8, 9, 10 there. I was
10
like, math is hard.
Days away from work. So I talked to my boss the other day and I was like, I think I'm taking those days. I think those 4 days of leave are worth it to be away from here for 10 days.
Listen, I'm taking 3 calendar days off in November and I get 9. I'm off for 9 days.
That's crazy too. Yeah.
I took 3 calendar days off in November and I will have 9 days away from work.
Yeah.
It's glorious.
Excellent.
As soon as it's approved.
Yeah.
If they don't approve it, I'm
yeah.
sick.
I mean, things go around all the time in November. It's 6 season. Okay.
Listen, guys, it's my birthday.
Also, it is the year of our Lord 2022 and the workforce is tired. You don't get to not approve leave at this point. At this point, the request is just a courtesy. It's just giving you a heads up. I'm not going to be there.
I will not
Not
be
a request.
Okay, bye.
Your PTO is a benefit of your job. I'm just saying. Take advantage of your benefits, sister.
I am. I'm like, I emailed I talked to my supervisor like in September. I'm like, is it too early to start requesting for November? And she's like, I'm like, okay, here you go. Here's my request. I don't care. Just so you know, this is it.
This
3
is
days.
just for your awareness.
Just FYI, 3 days. I will not.
My
be
boss
here
knows
3
by
days.
now. I've worked for her for going on 15 years, and she knows I don't care if the building is on fire. I don't work on my birthday. Ever. Ever. I refuse. I don't do anything for anybody on my birthday.
There is a TikToker whose whole like account is basically she does skits, but it's basically just being like, act your wage.
Yeah. Is it the Toodaloo girl?
No. She goes,
oh, is it the okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, bye.
Bye. Thank you, bye.
I forget her name, but I love her.
I love Veronica. Veronica, are you telling people that they are supposed to quiet quit at 5? Well, yeah, they're paid to be here from 9 to 5.
Okay, thank you, bye.
Hey, bye. And she's like,
Susan, bye.
Bye, Susan, bye. And she's like, she's on vacation and I can't get a hold of her. And I don't know what. Yeah, Susan, that's because I blocked your number. But now that I'm back at work, I've unblocked you. Okay, bye. Why would you block me on vacation? Because it's my vacation and you don't owe me, Susan.
Thank you, Susan. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I love her. I love her so much.
Yeah.
And when she's like, Bianca.
Yeah. Yep.
Susan's being cruel to us again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I love her so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just like, I'm taking these 3 days off. I'm entitled to 4 days of PTO. Thank you. But I'm just using 3.
Taking the 3.
Technically,
No,
I
take
already
that
used...
4th one too.
I
Take the
did
4th.
for Chloe.
Okay, good. I was gonna say,
no, I always use my PTO.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, our time off is in 3 buckets. Our PTO expires. It's only valid for 1 calendar year. So I always use my PTO. There's no way I'm not using. It's free time.
Yeah.
And then our vacation and sick time doesn't expire. But our vacation can max out, which won't happen because I will use it.
Yeah.
But when I worked at pharmacy, one of our assistant directors had to take time off because she was gonna max out and she didn't want to stop accruing. And I was like, well,
my stepdad
take some more vacation.
Yeah. For a while there, my stepdad was taking like the month of December off just about every year because he worked so much that he would just never take leave. It would just like keep accruing and he would just work over.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, that's the dream. Not to do all that work part, but to just take a whole month off.
Right.
Crazy.
And, I wish my brain could like, I would love to have a month off, but also I know my brain is going to be like, you should be working, you should be doing something. Why aren't you at work? Like, I don't want to be. Can I please be more like Veronica?
Yeah, I just want Veronica. I just want to quit.
Yeah. So.
Thankfully, my boss is cool. She's not like Susan.
Good. Susan is so toxic. So toxic.
Bye, Susan. Bye.
Thank you, Susan. Bye. God,
that's
I
how
love
we should.
her so much.
That's how we should end the episode after we do our spiel.
Oh my God.
Bye. Thank you, listeners.
Oh my gosh. Can we have her on the on the podcast?
Yes.
Please. I think we can. Her like real name starts with like an S. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I don't know how she came up on my TikTok, but I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, I don't know where these are coming from, but I'm thinking TikTok's trying to tell me something.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is, I take vacation, okay?
Take more.
I don't have more. I've used a lot in this past year, actually, so I'm running low.
Good.
I'm running low. That went off the rails.
You ready to do a spiel? Get back on the rails?
Get back on the rails. So, all right. So, since we did a writer's block section this week, we're going to skip Fangirl Freestyle so that we don't make this 50,000 hours long.
Yeah.
And we'll come back next week with something nice and juicy.
Equally as fun.
Or maybe not. It's my turn to prick, and I don't know, my brain's... Actually... Now that I'm thinking about it, we won't be doing Fangirl Freestyle next week.
Oh, yeah, we're doing a mini.
Next week, we're doing a mini episode, and it's going to explain our season finale. So stay tuned. It's going to be very fun. We're very excited. Stay tuned, listen to that episode, and then check our Instagram, because we'll probably put up some polls and stuff.
Yeah, we need your help.
We need
your help, your input.
So stay tuned. Next week will be a nice little short episode, but it'll still be really fun, I promise.
Yep.
And then the week after, I will bring you something for Fangirl Freestyle, I swear.
Perfect.
All right. Now we can spiel.
Spiel away.
Spiel time. Wait, I don't have my notes. I've done this 31 times.
You don't have this memorized?
I've done this 31 times, and I still get confused sometimes.
Fired.
I know. I'm the worst.
You're fired. I'm going to talk to myself.
All right. Bye.
And then she hung up.
Anyways, if you like this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe to us wherever you are listening, whatever platform it is. Please continue to listen. We love you.
Yes, we like that.
You can also follow us on social media. We are on Instagram and TikTok at The Incoherent Fangirl and at Incoherent Girls on Twitter, because Twitter's the worst. Brr.
Brr boo.
We do not like Twitter.
We do not like it.
But it's there in case we need
it
to
exists.
use it. It exists. It's there. Sometimes we post things. I think one time I posted and I was funny. Just one time.
I try to stay away from Twitter. It's the bowels of the internet.
It's a dumpster fire, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But a place that is not quite as dumpster fiery is Facebook, where you can like our Facebook page and then head on over to our website, theincoherentfangirl.com, where you can also stream all of our episodes as well as read our blog. If you need some time away from the internet, there are many book recommendations there.
Lots of them. You just need
Lots
to
of
keep
them.
on the internet for just a little bit
Just a
longer.
little bit. Get a couple
Find
names
the
down,
blog.
and then
Then you're
take a
free to
break.
leave for
Take
a
a
little
break.
bit.
Go read.
Your
Get some
mental health
fresh
is
air.
important.
It is. It is important. The internet is not always conducive to good mental health. So if you need a break, lots of
Take a break.
books.
Take
do
a
it.
break.
All of our episodes are also available for streaming on YouTube. They are audio only because we will eventually be using YouTube for Patreon perks such as full video episodes and bonus content, which we will be launching with the new season. I swear we will get it sorted away. If you have any suggestions for Patreon or for the podcast in general, comments, questions, concerns, you want to tell us we're pretty and give us attention so that we don't die like Tinkerbell, send us an email.
Yes.
The Incoherent Fangirl at gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
Yes, we would.
And additionally, if you would like to leave a review of the podcast on whatever platform you are listening to us on, please also do that and then send us an email letting us know you did that and on what platform.
Tell us.
Not only does it make it easier for us to find you, but it also reminds us that Apple Podcasts is not the only podcast platform. It's just the only one
hard
that
to
we
remember.
listen to. It's hard because that's the one that we use.
Yeah.
To listen to our podcast and other people's podcasts, but mostly ours because we're awesome. It's fun listening to yourself. It's not. My voice is annoying to me.
No, it's not.
And I think that's it. She's at Mandy Perv on all the things.
And she's at Ms. Made in China on all the things.
And we're fun, I think.
Yeah, we are.
Thanks for
we're
being
really
here.
Fun.
And also, if you want more fun, you can head over and visit our internet besties.
Yeah, talk to our besties.
They're pretty fun as well. Head on over to herecomestenerd.com, use code Fangirl, you'll get 20% off your first order.
And then head to onceuponabookclub.com and use code Mandy10 for 10% off.
And then more books and tea. Go to novelteachess.com. That is novel like a book, tea like the drink, chess.com. Use code Fangirl5 and you'll get 5% off your monthly subscription.
And last but certainly not least, head over to grimoiretea.com and use code FangirlT for 10% off. But remember, there is no I in Fangirl. FANGRLTEA.
Yay. We love our besties.
Yes, we do.
The best. This episode is coming out on the 14th, which means it's the day before the cutoff for Novelty Chess October box, which is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. Just in case anybody was interested, you should get in on that. Like right now. Head over
right now. Put the phone down. Pick the phone up. Not put the phone down.
Put it down, then pick it up.
Put it down. Pick it back up. Novelteachess.com. You want to do this.
You want it.
Yeah.
I know you want it. That was a really weird thing for me to say, but I'm going with it.
And that was the Incoherent Fangirl. Thank you. Bye. Bye, Susan. Bye, listeners. Thank you. We love you.
Listeners. Bye.
Bye.
We are sponsored by our friends at Here Comes the Nerd. Pins, stickers, magnets, and more. Here Comes the Nerd has happy art for all fandom-loving hearts. New customers can use coupon code FANGIRL during checkout for 20% off their first order at herecomesthenerd.com. Coupon applies to ready-to-ship items only.